Hello and welcome back to Apt for You. In this particular video, we'll be discussing a new problem from trees and basically the binary tree. And the problem is performing a reverse level order traversal. So before we dive into the reverse level order traversal, I hope you have watched my video on level order traversal, how it basically works. So just giving you a quick overview about the level order traversal. I have already uploaded the video on it, and you please watch it before you watch this video. So level order traversal means what? Suppose you are given a binary tree and you have to basically perform the level order traversal. It means that simply you have to traverse the tree from top to bottom, and while you're traversing it, print the nodes level wise. So in the first level I have 10, I'll print 10. Okay, this is level order traversal I'm saying. Then you come to the next level. Next level you have 20 and 30, left to right. 20 and 30 you'll be printing. Come to the next level. So this level you have only two nodes, 40 and 60, from left to right. 40 and 60. So what was the approach? Top to bottom and left to right you have to print the nodes. This was about level order traversal only. So top to bottom I'm going, you see 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, and then left to right. What about reverse level order traversal? So if you consider reverse level order traversal, here you see the output for this will be 40 to 60. Then you come up, then you print 20 and 30, then you go up, then you print 10. Getting the point? So suppose I have a tree like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, and suppose 80. What will be the output? First of all you will print 80, right? Then you will go up, and what will you print? You will basically print the left child first, right? The left child is what? So basically 40, 50, then 60, 70, right? So 40, 50, 60, 70. Then you go up 20 and then 30, 20 and then 30. Then again you go up and then you print 10. Got the point? So this is how basically the traversal actually works. So what is the approach? We basically have to move bottom to top and left to right. How will it work? Let us try to code the problem. So basically, let me explain you on the way. So if you consider the reverse level order traversal, we just have to write the exact code similar to the level order traversal, right? We will just write the exact code of the level order traversal. There will be only a slight difference, and I'll be showing you what is the difference is actually. So what happens in level order traversal? Suppose, let me just rub it and write the tree here. Suppose 10 is given, 20, 30, 40 and 50, right? Now what we do, we generally declare a queue, right? Queue. Let's do one thing. So this is a function reverse level order that is going to perform a reverse level order traversal. It has a root node. It has received it, and it will be returning the vector integer, which will be nothing but the vector that will be storing the level order traversal. So reverse level order traversal. So as always, what will I do? I will basically declare a vector int, and let it be output. This is what we do, isn't it? And inside this function, what we are going to do, we are going to call the function solve, and I'll pass my root node there. And finally, this solve function will update my output vector, and I'll return that output vector here. Before that, we should do output.clear, right? These are the things which we generally do in all the videos. Now, since I have called the function solve, so it is time to define the function solve. So what will the function solve do? It will be a void type function. It is receiving a root node, so node star root. Got it? Now what should we do? So basically, since it is receiving a root node, now we know that first of all we generally declare a queue, because we are going to use queue for our traversal. So I'll be declaring a queue, queue, and what is it going to store? This queue is going to store the address of nodes. So basically node star, and let us name it queue. That's it. What to do next? Excuse me. Now basically, once we have declared our queue, we should check the base condition. What is the base condition? If the root node that I have received, the address, is equal to null, so basically it means that the tree is empty, so we will do nothing, return. But if the root that I have received is not null, means there is at least one node, so initially we push that node into the queue, right? So we will push this node into the queue. Which node? This node. Basically we are going to push it into the queue, its address basically. So what will I write? This is what we do in level order traversal. Queue dot push root, right? the address of this node will be pushed into the queue. What next? We run a while loop and we will continue this as long as our queue is not empty. So while queue is not empty, what will we do? We will generally keep on traversing, and right now I have already pushed the address of 10. Remember, I am not pushing 10, I am pushing the address of 10. Okay, so the address of 10 is already pushed into the queue. Now what will I do? The queue is not empty. True. So this will be true because queue is not empty because I have an address of 10. What will I do? Basically, we say declare a pointer struct node star current. Okay, and this current will point to that particular node that I am going to pop. So current is equal to queue.front. What the point? So this node, basically the address of this is 10, address of 10, current will point to that node. Current is pointing to this current. Done. And then once I have stored that address, now I can just simply pop it, queue.pop. Fine. So where is my current pointing to? Current is pointing to this node, right? So before popping, what can I do? I can basically push the current data, output.pushback, right? Output.pushback what? Currents data. This is what we do in level order traversal. See, everything so far is similar to the exactly similar to level order traversal, 100% similar right now, till now. So we will basically push this into our output vector. So this is my output vector. Okay, what I pushed the data 10. Done. And you just popped it, and now what will we check? Whether the element that I had popped, that is current. So if current write is equal to null. So if you find that, okay, one thing, let me show you one trick. We used to check first of all left, right? If left is equal to null, we should say queue.push what? We used to say queue.push current left. Similarly, we used to check if current data, sorry, not data, write is equal to null, and then we used to push queue.push what? Current write. This is what we used to do, right? Now what we used to generally in a level order traversal, what we used to do, we push 10, then we popped it, and then we will push its children. So its children is basically 20 and 30. So first left child is pushed, then 30 is pushed. So we will basically push 20 and then 30. Okay, so no, sorry, not here. Why am I pushing here? We should push it into this queue, right? 20 and then 30. Again we come back and we check that queue is not empty, so we should pop 20. Current will now point to this, push 20 here, and then 20's left and right children are pushed into the queue, 40 and 50, right? Again we come back, queue is non-empty, again we pop 30, right? We write 30 here. 30's children are null, so I'll not push them. Again you come back, queue is non-empty, pop 40, push 40 here. 40's children are null, don't do anything. Come back, queue is non-empty, pop 50, push 50. Current its children are not null, so I'll not push anything here. Now this is my level order traversal, right? So this code is for level order traversal, but what do I need? I need reverse level order traversal. So for reverse level order traversal, what if I reverse this array? Now this output basically, right, this output vector has stored my level order traversal, right? This output vector has stored my level order traversal. So this is my level order traversal, and this is the output vector. If I reverse this, what will I get? I'll get 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Do you think this is a reverse level order traversal? Do you think that this is a reverse level order traversal? See, we are definitely traversing from bottom to up, bottom to top. This is being done here. Bottom to top traversal is being done here. If we just reverse the output vector that we stored in level order traversal, right? So the level order traversal, the output vector that we got, if we just reverse it, we will get this array, and this array is basically fine because it is working from bottom to top. See, 50, 40, the down nodes, then come to 30, 20 and 10. The problem is in reverse level order traversal, what we wanted, bottom to top and left to right. But you see 50 and then 40, it is going from right to left, right? This is working fine, bottom to top, but this property is not being satisfied because it is printing right child first then left child, right child first then left child. You can see right child first then left child. So what is the modification that is required? definitely it is possible. A very simple trick. What is the trick? Let us do one thing. Let us push the right child first and then the left child in the level order traversal. What the point? So we will push the right child first and then we will push the left child. So the right child is pushed first. So we are basically, you see, we are pushing the right child first and then the left child. So what will happen if I do so? If you do so, so let me write it here. Level order traversal, okay, suppose. If I do so, what will happen? In the level order traversal, if I push the right child first, so what will happen is basically, I will get 10, 30, then 20. Again 50, then 40. Now, in this level order traversal that you have received, you just reverse it. So if you reverse it, what will you get? 40, 50, 20, 30, 10. Don't you think this is the answer? 40, 50, 20, 30, 10. Exactly, this is the answer. Time complexity of this approach, order of n, right? Because we are just traversing it, all the nodes. Space complexity, how much? Order of n, because we are using a queue of size order of n. So this particular value will basically be stored. Now this time you see I have just switched them, right first then left. So this value, these things are basically pushed continuously in my output vector, and once this loop ends, once this while loop basically ends, I should basically reverse my output vector. So I'll be using a STL function reverse, and I'll say output dot begin comma output dot end. That's it. So this will basically reverse my vector, and this is what we are going to return here. So I hope this will work fine. Let us compile the code. Okay, the spelling is wrong. Output. So yes, it's output. Okay, what is the issue? Let me check the issue. It is only printing 1, means it is not printing other elements. So while not q.empty is true, it's okay. Current data is fine. Okay, let me just check it. Alright, so a very silly mistake, you see. It should be not equal to null, right? If current right is not equal to null, only then I will push, right? And if current left is not equal to null, only then I will be pushing the elements, right? If it is null, why to push? So if it is not equal to null, only then I'll be pushing the elements, right? So very silly mistake, and really a hopeless mistake. So yes, now it works fine. You see the traversal. We have a tree 1, 2, 3. 3, 2. What should be the output? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 is printed. So yes, that's all from this particular video. I hope this was helpful. In case of any doubt, please feel free to put it out in the comment section, and just like, share and subscribe. Thank you.